of the Baileyton Drug Company, TNB, B&T, whatever you want to refer to it as show, presented by Starnes Barber, where we cover everything on the court with the North Greene Huskies and Lady Huskies basketball teams. As always, I'm joined here with Lady Huskies head coach James Buchanan, Huskies head coach Sam Tarlton, fellas. It's a beautiful Monday.
What's up, Tyler?
How we doing?
3-0 last week.
That's exactly what I was going to go into.
What a week.
Good week for us.
Swept the week.
Yeah, good week for Coach.
It was a good week.
Man's 8-1. Pretty good start.
It's a pretty dang good start.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, it's a pretty dang good start overall. You got 8-1.
We
you
got the tail
7-2.
tucked between our legs today. Took a little beating. Hey, breaking news. If you haven't already heard, we're not going undefeated this year. We've lost a game.
Well,
I thought you were going to go into something else.
There was great weeping and wailing in Baileyton. We're not undefeated.
Coach is going to be perfectly fine.
The pressure's off now, though. Does there come any pressure?
There you go.
Whenever you start to build up like 7-0, 8-0, 9-0.
We just wanted to get the pressure off. Just get it out of the way now. Now we can go win the Ladies Classic.
That's what I was about to say.
Okay.
I'm still waiting to set that trophy here on that desk.
Yep.
Has any Greene County team ever won it?
I don't
Well,
think
South
so.
Greene won the first 4.
Did they?
Okay.
Back in the late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, they won the first 4. But nobody has since. Oak Ridge has won the most. Did y'all know that? I think they've won 5 or 6.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, basketball time in Tennessee. Big Orange, #1 in the AP poll.
You going to be? Or they already are?
Yeah, it just came out like
About
10
10
minutes
Who
ago.
they got to Miami and at Illinois here soon. That's going to be a tough one.
They going to Illinois this year?
The girls beat 2 good teams.
Florida State and Iowa.
Are they?
They got to be ranked by now.
Yeah, surely. We're everything's cool. Tyler, what about Texas?
Thanks.
Tennessee, that's where it's at.
How's Texas basketball? I haven't seen them.
They lost to UConn yesterday. They got a really good freshman, Trey Johnson.
Is he good?
He's projected first round. He was a top 10 pick last year. They don't have a team around him right now, though.
Who's
They lost a few
projected
this year.
#1?
Last time I saw it was Cooper Flagg.
Cooper Flagg.
I'll tell you one
Where does
player
he
for
play at, Tyler?
Duke Blue Devils. You know one player who's really impressive? I don't know if either of you have watched it.
There's 2 on the same team.
Yep.
The 2 from Rutgers are both
Dylan
good.
Harper.
Is that Ron Harper's son?
Yeah, he's a gamer.
Where's he at?
Rutgers. Need to
Ain't
watch him
seen
play.
Then,
Back-to-back 30-point games against Notre Dame and Alabama, I think.
What's the other one? Ace Bailey or something?
Ace
like
Bailey.
That?
He
They're
was
both good.
projected higher, but
What conference
Dylan-
are they even in now?
Big Ten.
Okay.
I seen Jacoby yesterday. When I got home from church, I flipped it on. They were playing Purdue. Purdue came back and won there at the end, but he's good.
He finished with 18.
He's good.
It was 18 with about 40 seconds left whenever I turned
Somebody
it on.
asked me the other day, I almost am ashamed to say this, I've never seen him play. I didn't see him play at Greenville.
Mm-hmm.
That's bad. Of course, you hardly ever see a Belmont game. I guess you can stream all these games now.
You go to ESPN Plus if you have a subscription.
But, I'm not seeing him play, but somebody asked me the other day, what do you think the ceiling is for him and his career? Tell me if you agree with this. There's just so many people to choose from. I thought maybe undrafted free agent, maybe impresses in summer league, maybe gets an invite to a training camp.
I would say that's a safe assumption. I just know.
If you get invited to a training camp, you've got a chance.
Yeah, I mean that ain't even a knock saying he ain't gonna get drafted. I mean.
You think he'll get drafted?
No.
Okay.
But I'm saying that's not like some people might look at that and be like, call that a knock, not getting drafted. But
What?
There's not.
You know how
Was
many
it
players
2
there are in
rounds?
the NBA?
Was there 2 rounds?
Yeah, just 2
Columbia
rounds.
get drafted.
Yeah.
2 rounds.
Yeah. So it'd be very hard.
My thoughts on that, I didn't realize how much turnover there is in the NBA. There are 450 players a year professionally. There's about 15 on a team, there's 30 teams. Of those 450, only about half of them stay put or move around free agency. There are a lot that drop off into, the summer league. I'm trying to work my way back, or I go play overseas. And then these kids that get drafted there's a lot of turnover in that other half.
Yeah.
So, I think he.
On the broadcast yesterday, they were saying those are it's like a duel between the two best point guards in the Big Ten. So I mean, that's probably the second best basketball conference, I'd say, behind SEC right now.
And there may be a situation.
ACC's weak right now.
Yeah. What if he stays in school another year? I mean, a lot of them are doing that. Like Filipowski last year in Duke, or 2 years ago. He
Proctor,
was projected.
He's a third year now. Yeah.
They were projected to be like second round or possibly undrafted. Well, I look at that rookie deal for an undrafted free agent, and I look at the NIL money I stand to make if I come back to Duke or Rutgers or Maryland, and I'll make more money if I stay in college, yet I'm going to be out there much more. They're going to see me much more. So
Armando Baycott.
He's played for 10 years.
He played for 5 years, and he talked about how he would make more money off of his NIL deals, because I think he was making over $1 million with his NIL deals. He would make more with that than I think he would if he became an undrafted
Where's
free
he
agent.
at now?
Grizzlies, I think.
Him and Filipowski playing one-on-one.
Now, Filipowski's getting actual playing time on the Utah Jazz. Baycott, I think he's stuck down there in the
G
League now.
I
never liked Filipowski.
I seen him on a highlight.
Hey,
out there and hit a
you know who I do like though?
If you're a Duke fan, you have to like him. He wore our jersey.
You don't necessarily have to like a player.
That's true.
You don't necessarily
What
have to
reason
like
did he
one.
give you not to like him other than they didn't win national championships and go to
I
finals?
defended Grayson Allen way too much when he was doing some of his childish crap. So when Filipowski started to do it too, I was over it. I
Dude
wasn't doing
took
it.
bloody faces. I mean, he got beat to a pulp, and he never complained. He just kept coming to play. I mean, sometimes it was disappointing. I'm sure he was disappointed, but
I got a question.
You gotta
A
stick
lot
in
of
there
Duke
with your
fans are
guys.
50-50 with this guy. What's your opinions on Jalen Johnson?
I don't even know who that is. Who is that?
Okay, 2020, whenever you had the COVID year, he quit 13 games into the season
Bye.
and ended up becoming a first-round pick, and now he's, I think, the second leading scorer for the Hawks, Trae Young.
Don't even know him.
I-
He's dead to me.
I didn't like him just because of that.
You
He
leave
quit
Duke,
halfway
you're
through the year.
dead to me. They've gotten some big wins here lately. I told
They have.
y'all. Everybody was like, well, Kentucky beat them. They ain't going to be no good this year. Well,
I talked about it
Kansas
up there on the
beat 'em.
stage with French. They're going to be all right.
They're all right. I
They're gonna
told
be
you.
all right.
Remember this. Go back and watch episode 1 if you don't believe me. I said it. From the first time I watched them this year, they've got size, athleticism, they've got shooting. The one thing
a little last night. They was on TV.
I missed the
Comeback
game.
win.
And here's the only way to watch TV. I don't know if you people are aware of this. If you're watching this at home, you probably already are aware of this because you've got the internet. I've got this YouTube TV. You can add something to your library. My TV records every time the Lakers, Tennessee, and Duke is on television. If I miss a game, or yesterday we had a full day at church, choir practice, board meetings, celebrate recovery. I mean, it was a full day. I was at church literally 8 hours or 10 hours, whatever. So I go home. I've got no clue that Duke even played. I got a notification on my phone they tipped off. Never saw the score. I came in here today during lunch, watched it. You can fast forward through halftime and the commercials. I watched the full game in 45 minutes.
They got down and they stormed back.
Well, I saw. Yeah, they got down back. Louisville was hitting 73% of their threes in the first half.
Which was crazy because they said they were only hitting 24.
I know, that's Duke for you. Everybody gets up for Duke.
Yeah.
What was it Coach K said?
Every time Duke plays at Louisville, they struggle.
That guy was going to do good there, I think.
Yeah, Louisville.
Yeah.
Well, listen to this stat. Coach K said this. I heard it before the year. They invited him in to speak to the team before the season started. He was talking to them there in a room. Somebody got a phone out, videoed the whole thing. I don't know if he knew he was being recorded or not. But he said they win 75% of their road games. Now, somebody go check to see if anybody else can compete with that. So, I mean, I'm sure there are great schools and tough conferences that win 75% of the road games. But he said of the 75% of the games that they lose, or if you take the 25% of the games that they lose, 75% of those games, the opposing team's fans rush the floor. So 3 out of every 4 road losses that they have, they storm the court.
Did you see that Kansas got beat and they got rushed on? Did you see what the Missouri coach did?
Mm-hmm.
Called timeout with 5 seconds to go to let
Kansas get out of the way.
Get out of the way. And
That's
Bill
smart.
Self was like, he's really high on him for that.
Okay.
So that was.
Well,
They got court rushed, I think, twice.
Do you
Creighton
storm
did
the
it, too.
floor if you beat? We don't even want to name a school. There's a reason why you storm the floor.
You're
It's
not
'cause
on
you-
the same level that they are.
You beat somebody that you didn't think you could beat, or you're really happy you beat them, or so. I think that says something about your program.
I
But
think it does too. I
we've
think
talked
if you're a
college
power,
basketball.
if you're a Power 4 school, I really don't think you should storm the floor.
Yeah,
You're a Power 4 school for a reason, and you're getting these.
Oh,
4
we're
or
going
5
around
stars.
we've got the official college football playoff brackets filled out.
It's gonna be forever before we start.
We
got
got to talk basketball. We got to get basketball in.
Oh, we're gonna go with that
For our
first.
fans, we got to save this for last because
Alright.
there's probably parents and Husky basketball fans that
hey,
just
good luck.
watch it for the
Keep 'em-
basketball.
You keep them here.
Huh?
We'll keep them interested.
Okay.
They gotta stay tuned for this.
Yeah.
It's like the real show there yesterday. You had to talk 45 minutes before you revealed.
That was stupid. Of course, I wasn't watching it. I thought, man, this was supposed to come out at 12 o'clock. Nobody's saying nothing. And how stupid was this? After the bracket reveal, it was like another hour before you found out which day you played and what time you played.
Yeah.
So we're prime time. Looks like.
All right, we'll get into that later. Hey, let's start with me.
Okay.
Because I want to finish this thing by hearing what Sam's got to say, which we text back and forth a little bit over the weekend, but at school, they've got this thing set up now.
Oh, that
We're teaching like dogs. I mean,
we used to sit in here together all day.
we used to have a few classes, like a PE class along with a wellness class, and they'd be in here together a lot. What is it that Ric Flair used to say that LA Knight has adopted? No! No! Now he's down there teaching personal finance, and
This used to be my favorite spot to sit.
The
That's what I
couch.
was about to say. The first
we've had some
year I came in
counseling
here, you told me
sessions.
that you could probably find you right there.
Yeah,
I don't know if I've seen you on that couch in.
I never sit right
few
there.
years.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it's over. I've not even looked at the schedule next semester. I think I have maybe one period of lunch duty. But hey, they take care of us here. We got a good administration.
bad.
I'm in love with one of them.
He's in love with one of the administration.
Do you know that
I am.
my wife is the assistant principal. I get bossed around at home and work. How many of you can say that? Type it in the comments. Do they do that on this show?
Yeah. You get a few. I told you. I think I
David
know your-
Painter?
David Painter's your
Hello,
biggest fan.
David. Thank you for watching.
How are we? We haven't been on our top for game number one first 2 weeks.
No, I gotta say, I don't know if you cracked 1,000 views yet.
We
Keep
stink.
checking.
They finally got tired of us. I knew it was coming.
Hey, but guess
Yeah.
what? 3-0 this week, 2-1 this week. You're not sick no more.
Yeah.
You went throughout the week without losing. We're up this week, fellas. We're up this week. fellas.
Why don't you share it? Do that sharing thing.
Oh, I'll start doing that. I think I
I
did
think that's
last.
where you got a lot of your views.
Well, last week I did at the very end.
I think
of the week.
Susie shared it with my mom. My mom watched this for the first time the other day. She didn't know we did this. This is season 4, and she had no idea that we even did it.
Okay. Yeah, you
She's
could
got
be
a lot
right
to catch
there.
up on.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh, man.
It's like Jokic winning the MVP. So, we're still right here.
How
It's like
good is he
being,
playing?
Being the same, but people just get tired of it.
Well, it's a good point. But
He is playing really good.
what brought all that on was I've not even seen Sam until right now. Till right here, fourth period.
day
First
today?
time I've seen him today. But anyway, he had a phenomenal week. So I'm curious to hear about it. So I'll go first.
You
Does
go
that
first. Go
work?
ahead. That
Are we
works.
going to do the review and preview?
We'll do the review right now. Of course, we'll cut to a break and then do the preview on the second half.
So review, then preview,
Yeah.
And then
So, of course, you've got
and then the college football. We're going to tell you who's going to win it all.
we've got the script. You've got
Yeah.
Cherokee, Chucky Doak, and South Greene from last
Okay.
week. Take
All
us
right.
through it all.
Cherokee. I don't know if anybody keeps up with Cherokee. I know you probably keep up with your own school, but if you've been watching them, they started off the year and they took a few on the chin. One of them was to us. But if you look, their games, they've played some very close games with Cosby. They got beat at the buzzer by West Greene. They finally broke through and got a big win against Jeff County. So they're the top team that I feel like. I mean, they've got young players. I mean, they're playing several freshmen on varsity. So I think they're going to get better and better and better every week. So whenever we go play them at Cherokee, I anticipate that being a very difficult game, tough environment. But we started off the week playing, and you could see the jump just from when we played them in the Granger Thanksgiving tournament to when we played them here. Of course, I feel like our kids usually play a lot better here at home, so we ended up it wasn't no, we come out and got up 20 and coasted. It was one of those where it just gradually kept going up throughout the course of the game. And we finally got all of our kids on the floor there late, and they cut into it some. I think it ended up, what was it? You got it there?
It was 55-38, and one point that I'll make to add to that was, I think it was, 11-10? Or maybe that was your first quarter
no,
score.
I mean...
6-6 for you. I think you were tied 6-6. You went on that spree where I think you scored 9 or 11 before they crossed half court, and you got up 28-11, and it ended up sticking at that 17-point margin the rest of the game. So if you throw out the second quarter, I think you all might have been even through the first, third, and fourth quarters.
And the coach's daughter, number 12, is going to be a phenomenal player. Already is, but she's just going to keep getting better and better. So, we were fortunate to play fairly well in that spurt you were talking about there and got us a pretty good lead. I'd have to grab my book to see how we were. Do you have that as far as our scoring that night?
I don't have. I have the.
Seems like it was fairly well balanced. It's not hard to remember the Chucky Dope scoring because there hardly was any.
38-36.
Yeah, I know. You want me to go ahead and jump into that one?
Go ahead.
All right, the Chucky Dope game. We really tried
I don't
to.
know if that was a game, Coach. That was a war.
It was a war. Very physical game. We came out with a broken wrist from the JV game. Heidi Trentham. She thought she may have just jammed it, but then, wasn't getting any better. So she goes to the doctor and she's got a break there at her growth plate. What'd you come up with there?
I got the Cherokee scoring log. Josie Graham, 14 points.
Yeah.
Cadence Marshall, 11 points. All hers came in the second quarter, and I think 8 of Josie's came in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And you had Ella Head, 9, Hannah Miller, 8, Mercy Buchanan, 4, Lauren Blevins, 6.
Pretty
so you
balanced.
had, 6 players score against Cherokee.
All right, so then the Chucky Dope game, it started in the JV, like I said, with Heidi getting an injury there, and then Mercy came out of the varsity game, had to get a couple stitches in her chin where her head hit the floor. I mean, there were bodies everywhere the whole night. Several people, I think, fouled out. We survived some foul trouble. I think we had them prepared. I think the kids, we really emphasized wear your blue shirts and your hard hats and get ready to go to work. This is going to be physical. I was kind of proud of the way we took care of the ball. We couldn't get many shots to fall, and that's a credit to their defense. I thought our defense was fairly good for the most part. We saw them do something to us that South Greene did something to us on Saturday. At one point, they've got 5 people. I don't know that you'd necessarily call them 5 guards, but you've got 5 people, 5 capable ball handlers that are also capable shooters that are out behind the arc. And they're trying to pull Hannah away from the rim because, in the first half of the Chucky Dope game, she probably had 3 or 4 blocked shots. They got some quick guards, and they're getting around us, and she's meeting them at the rim, and she's blocking their shots. So, they're pulling her away. So we got to come up with a remedy for that. I think, and I mentioned this maybe in one of the post-game interviews, I think we need to be better defenders behind Hannah if she's ever out there on the perimeter, because she's been a great defender behind the rest of us. We call her the custodian because she cleans up a lot of messes.
We have a hard time doing that too when I think you get so used to it because Lance is usually in there helping for us, and now I don't know if he does as good a job as Hannah about that, but when he has to go guard,
what's going on behind him's a mess.
We miss a help because they're not used to going down there and doing it. I feel you on that.
So, and South Greene really exploited that. It was a hard-fought win. The Chucky Dope game was, and really, this ain't no excuse. But we were beat to death, and I'm sure both teams felt that. But Friday we took it easy. We watched film. We tried to get some shots up and walk through some stuff, but we really tried to use Friday as a recovery day. Also, we didn't have a lot of information on South Greene. They'd only played the one game at Cherokee.
And then they played the night before against
Granger.
And
then they played the night that we practiced against Granger. So we were finally able to check that one out on the NFHS network. Kids came out Saturday, and we took another look. But I think they're still becoming what they're eventually going to be, and that's a tribute to their coaching staff over there. I mean, they had to prepare for Granger. So they probably came out and had a shoot around on Saturday and threw something together for us and had no problem with us. So either their kids are way better than us or their coaches are way better than us. I probably tend to agree that it's the coaches. So they just had their kids ready to go. And
You believe that?
And we didn't.
You believe that?
Believe what?
What did you just say?
Their coaching staff's better than your coaching staff?
Oh, I mean, they just smacked us around. We gave up 64, and I don't know, you'd have to go find 2 games put together to, we've held people to under 64 in 2 games. Of course, it's, different quality opponent, I guess. But, hats off to them and their kids. We'll try to learn from it, make a few adjustments, and go from there. So that was our week,
Hey,
2-1.
They're coming to the Den next.
That'd be a long time.
It'll be a long time, but you got a lot of time to prepare for that.
It's a season. It's a whole season.
I think that's
Middle
one
of
thing you
February.
can both agree on too. Is South Green's a tough place to play, but the Den's also a tough place to play. And if you look at the season series over the last few years, the home and homes, I think you pretty much either split or you've taken.
There was one
home
weird
games.
year.
Because last year I think it was that way too. Did you take the game here at home at the Den?
Let me tell you this story. In 2017, I believe the month was January. They had one of those state tournament state champion caliber teams. That might have been one of the years. I think they won it that year. And we were okay in 16. We went to sub-state in 16 and got beat on the road. I graduated 5 seniors. So in 17, we were down. We had a couple of experienced players, then we had 3 new ones we were throwing out there, and it was a rough go. I think we went 16 and 17. That's easy to remember because the year was 16-17, and our record matched the year. And we went to their place and played, and they beat us 83-13. They beat us by 70 points. And I can't remember. I think it was 3 years later that we went to South Greene in the same gym where we lost by 70 and we won by 16. And that was a big win. We had a young team and beat them anyway. But then the return game, they came in here on our floor and beat us late in the year. So that was weird. That was a weird year. But we've had some years where we've split. There's been a couple that we swept them, but there's been several, a lot, where they've swept us. But we feel like we're at a place now where at least it's back and forth and it's not just total domination. And some people ain't going to want to hear this, but it's the truth. Our school started playing basketball girls in 1974. That was the first year they played basketball. And you can go from 74 to about 2009, somewhere in there, 10. And I think you'll find 3 wins where North Greene beat South Greene 3 times in
35 years.
Yeah, more than that. Yeah, 35. Yeah, about 35 years. 3 wins in 35 years. So, and since then though, since 2010, somewhere in there, we're up in double figures now. So it's better than it was, but it's always going to be, like you said, tough place, great tradition, good coaching, good players. So on to Sam. I want to hear this.
I don't know.
Cherokee first off.
Cherokee.
A good game, very good game.
Yeah. First off, let me just plug in on
Cherokee was that the first one without Bennett?
the first one without Bennett. Let me plug in on Bennett.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, we were kind of hoping. He got hurt. We were kind of hoping for some good news. And I think we hadn't got the news before Cherokee game. It's like Wednesday or something like that. Wednesday or Thursday of last week.
I think I came in Monday and you had told me that we were looking to get it through the week, and I came on Tuesday night and he hadn't got it yet.
Okay, so yeah, I think it was either Wednesday or Thursday night. He tore his ACL, which was, you just hate to hear that for the kid, number one, because Bennett is since I've been here, I can think of 2 or 3 kids that you hate to say that are your favorite kids, but
Just a good kid.
yeah, like if you had a kid, you want him to act like him, or like if you had a daughter, you'd want them to end up with somebody like them. Ben McLean's one of the. He is a top-notch human being, whether it be playing a sport for you or coming out here and going to school. Goes above and beyond in everything that he does. I mean, this ain't going to be the end for him. He's going to do something way more important one day than play high school basketball. And he knows that, but it's still tough to you get that news. And I never, as a coach, I guess this is lucky, but I think Kendall Loftus, his sophomore year, broke his hand or arm there and missed a big chunk of the season. But other than that, other than somebody missing, a week here, a week there, we never had an injury like that. And then, so you don't, he's a senior, so he don't have a chance to come back. So, I don't know. It was just a real bad day there at practice Wednesday or Thursday. We kind of told the team, we all kind of broke down there, cried together. But no, we're going to play for him the rest of the year. That's what we're trying to do. I know it don't make it any better, the news we got, and he was having a great start. I think he played 6 games. He was averaging over 20 points a game. He was going to score 1,000 points this year. I don't know, just bad luck. So anyway, if they were all like Ben and McLean, this job would be a whole bunch easier. So I just wanted to say that about him. Moving on to Cherokee.
But let's give it up for Bennett.
Yeah. Moving on to Cherokee, you never know how your team's going to respond after stuff like that. That's a big part of our team. He's a leader on our team. He was leading us in scoring. He's by far our best defender. So next guy up. You go in there not knowing. Coach mentioned about Cherokee girls. The boys are kind of in the same boat. They hadn't been great the last several years, but they got a good young group of juniors and sophomores. And then they got a freshman group from Bulls Gap who had a ton of success last year. And 2 or 3 of those kids are playing on the varsity, so they're going to do nothing but get better. We gave up 9 offensive rebounds. It's tell it 2 halves here. I think gave up 9 offensive rebounds in the first half and was down 6. And then, we challenged them at halftime. We got to clean that up. We also challenged a few of our other guys. I'm going to go and talk to Lance Carrico, Lawson, Tyler. If you guys ain't going to step up and score, we're not going to right now. So them guys got to be consistent. We got to know what we're getting out of them every night. And in the second half, they responded. I think we gave up 2 offensive rebounds in the second half after we're down 6. And then I can't tell you how many Lance scored in the second half. It was a bunch. I think he had 12 at halftime and then ended up with
18. We talked about that after the game. He had 30.
He ended up with 30, 18 in the second half. So he responded.
6 3-pointers.
6 3-point. Golly. And then
And
Lawson.
he had a long 2 also. Out there on the.
I was watching that film, and he had hit like 3 in a row, and then he catches it in the corner wide open, and I scream at him to shoot it. Well, is it like as he's pump faking, I'm yelling at him to shoot it. Well, he takes one dribble and does like a double clutch, 1 step inside the 3-point line shot, and it goes in still. I don't know what that was, but we're glad it went in. Anyway, I think it's career high for him. Had a great game. Lawson was aggressive. Was he in double figures? I think he was. Yeah, like 15. 14 or 15. So, yeah, those 2 guys stepped up in the absence of Ben, and we were able to get a good win. Then we moved on to Thursday night county matchup. You say Coach been winning these county games, or he split them maybe with South Greene some years. We had a good run there. I think we get on here and both like 12-0 or something like that between us against. We've hit a stalemate there against Chucky Doak and.
Well, you broke through that.
Yeah, South Greene. I think Chucky Doak had beat us 5 in a row. Actually.
Oh, wow. I was actually going to mention how South Greene, I think, had been a little bit of a losing streak for you. I forgot about Chucky Doak.
It was both. Chucky Doak and South Greene. We had actually played Chucky Doak 5 straight times and lost. And I think we had lost 6 or 7 straight to 6 straight, I think, 3-3 to South Greene. So we want to win those county games. They're not as important as late in the year games or conference games, but those are important. So especially on your home court. Chucky Doak, their team is going to get better. If you lose 10 kids and it's only 10 kids you play, you're going to be searching there for a while. But I think they got a couple good pieces. I like the Grindstaff kid. I like the Atchison. I think the Palazzo kid is a big, strong body. So I think that'll be tougher later in the year at Chucky Doak. But we played really, really well that night. A lot of things went well. Tyler, I'll mention Tyler. He had only hit 3 3-pointers the first 6 or 7 games, and then he hit 3 in the first quarter. I think he's kind of building off that because he hit 3 or 4 more last or Saturday night against South Greene. So that was good to see. Maybe he kind of got that. I think once you miss a few, you can kind of start pressing. I think that happened to Bennett last year. Like you're kind of in your head. You're gonna have a good year, and then it don't happen for you, and then it don't happen for you, and then you just press, and it gets worse and worse and worse. So it was good to see shots go in for Tyler. Everybody that got in played well. I mean, Thomas Darnell's giving us great minutes. Jaden Bailey, his defense and just his energy changes the game for us, and it did on Saturday for sure. I think it's taken Bubba 6 or 7 games. He hadn't played in a year and a half. He's kind of settling in, doing the things that I spit all over you. Doing the things that we're asking him to do. Isaac had 6 points. I think that's a career high for him so far. Isaac he's scoring a ton in that JV. I think you're going to see him start to score a little bit for us in the bar. So everybody that got in done a great job. It was great to finally get a county win against Chucky Doe.
Moving on to South Greene now.
Moving on to
get
South
another
Greene. 6
another
in a row.
county win over a team that had really beaten you all the last few years.
6 in a row. Our little, it's not a rivalry, but me and Terry, since we've been coaching, it started out like that where he'd wear us out. I took one of those on the chin like Coach took. I can't remember the exact score. I want to say it was 72-19.
When was that?
My first year here.
Oh, wow.
I finished 29-9 and went to the Final Four.
Hey, all right. It took us 3 years to get over the hump and win a game against a school that beat us that bad. You did it the same year.
Yeah.
You beat a team that you lost to 72-19.
I don't count. That's close. I'll bring.
It was 19. I know that's what you had.
I'll bring you the.
May have been 60 something. But.
I'll bring you the. Or maybe we had 21. It was bad.
What year was your first year coaching?
17, 18. And I think that loss would have actually been in 17. Wasn't it early?
57-19 was what was on Max Preps. Is that correct?
That's it.
57-19.
I swear there's one where they had it. They beat us twice like that. There's that may have been it, but there's another one where it was like 72-20 something. Like he's beat me bad twice. Anyway, but we come back and somehow we won in here on senior night or something like that against them.
Yeah.
So anyway, we started off rough against South Greene, but then we went on a stretch where we won like 4 or 5 in a row, and then they kind of flipped that back on us.
What night was it? The door came off the hinges.
Oh, that was when we had the 3 foreigners.
All right, go on.
69-29. That was another one.
Yeah, okay.
Is that one you're talking about?
Yeah. It's bad.
So yeah.
They always feel worse than they are.
Yeah. What's that mean? Can it feel much worse than 69-29?
Yeah.
On our senior night.
Oh, that was.
Did you have any seniors up?
Turner Bailey.
Poor old Turner.
Yeah. Anyway, it's bad. Terry's heading me some butt whoopings. Anyway, here's how I'll lead off with it. They're good. They're as good as anybody, and I think anybody around here. So when you pop on the film, we had actually scrimmaged Crockett, and I watched that Hardy's Classic film, and I showed the boys, you start in the second quarter, and you go all the way through the third quarter. You know how many times that South Greene missed a shot and Crockett got the first rebound?
Probably 0.
0. Wow.
0. You have to do certain things, I think, against teams like there, against South Greene, to even be in the game. And rebounding was the number one thing. You have to hit them. If you don't hit them, you're not going to get it. They're going to jump over you and get it every time. And we did a really, really, really great job about doing that. We didn't just do it for a quarter or 2. We did it for the whole game. So I think that was what allowed us to be in the game. And then we just had the guys make plays. Lawson Davenport that's the best game he's played while he's been at North Greene. I think he scored more before, but he controlled the entire game. Man, just hats off to him. I apologized to him in the locker room. I'll just tell you what I said. And Lance was really good too. He had 17 and hit that.
I think Tyler led you with 21 that game.
Well, that was the David Crockett game. Or no,
was that Chucky Doe?
Chucky Doe
Okay.
game. He had 21. Yeah. Yeah, Tyler had a great game against Chucky Doe.
Yeah.
Lance had 17 and hit the go-ahead shot there late. And he had 17, had to sit out.
Do you think he banked it on purpose?
I don't. He actually, you was probably in your locker room. He banked in a 3 in the first quarter.
Maybe he does that just to show off.
He's such a good shooter. He just
That's
won't
right.
bank.
I'm gonna bank this one just to show y'all.
Golly. Anyway, sometimes you play so hard, you might deserve to win.
Let me put something in right here while you're closing this thought out. First of all, are we running out of time on that thing?
We should be good at the moment. I'm going
All
to
right.
check, though.
You know, I've got nothing against people that enjoy success. When I played, I was an emotional player. So, I mean, if a shot goes in, you get a little excited about that. And sometimes, you know, I've got no problem with people playing to the crowd. I mean, you got a home crowd and the place is rocking. So what if you look over at them and acknowledge them? I mean, they go to class with some of these people. I mean, they've been friends since kindergarten sometimes. But there's just something about the Jimmy Chitwoods of the world that, as I've gotten older, I appreciate and I love. And I think Lance could hit 15 in a row, and you would never know it. If you just looked at his face.
I've maybe seen him get excited.
You want me to tell you another one like that?
Who?
I was ready to just go give him the world's biggest hug because he was taking some verbal abuse. He was taking some, some of the stare downs after a made shot and some of the parties that people like to throw. Thomas Darnell made some big buckets and just went about his business.
Mm-hmm. He was great.
And I don't know, and I bet there's other coaches, they may not say it, but I think they would agree with me that you prefer that.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in the middle of a war. It ain't about me.
I'll tell you who don't do a good job about that is me. I'll wear it on my sleeve over there.
And that's all right. I mean, there ain't a right or a wrong thing. I'm just saying that I like to see those kids, especially when all you see these days are, you got to hit a three or whatever this.
Hey, there's a new one.
What's the new
Did
one?
you see the new one?
No, I want to see it.
Jordan Poole. He's got a new
Oh,
one.
my God.
He was doing something like this the other day.
He's drowning in the pool, so that'll be it. You'll see that coming.
Drowning in the pool. You saw it here first.
Yeah.
I mean, that's our world that we live in now, though. But I still like them kids them Jimmy Chitwoods. If you don't know who that is,
What a pool.
you stink. You ever seen Hoosiers?
Great movie.
Finally,
What a
you've seen a
pool.
movie I've seen.
Still not seen Rocky.
Oh, I've seen that.
All right, go ahead, Sam.
Anyway,
I just want to plug
I
there
told
for them boys.
I turned around.
Lawson's the same way.
Yeah, he was outstanding, and
You think it's got something to do with this school? We'll win a big game, and I'll go in the locker room. They're just sitting there.
Yeah.
You said that for all
I can't understand it.
that we've been on here.
I mean, I'll go in there fired up, excited about winning the game, and they're just sitting there looking at each other. I guess they're waiting on me to leave so they can talk bad about me. I don't know what it is.
But we led most of the game there, and they pushed the lead out to 7, I think, in the fourth quarter, 6 or 7. Here's what I was proud of. You lead the whole game, then they come back and they turn it on you. It's 53-50 with a minute 14. And while all that's happening, we had controlled him most of the game. And when it gets down there to 3 minutes or so, the dudes start to take over. Roderick started going and getting it, and he started going and putting it in the hole. And I turned around to Arnold and my dad and said, they got a dude, and I'm not sure we do. We had 2. Really, with Tyler hitting those threes like that, we had 3. But Lawson went in there late by himself off a ball screen and hit 2 or 3 floaters. He made a big defensive play down there where he pinned one on the glass. Lance made every open shot that he got the entire game. And then, I know he banked one in, but and then he said he didn't
Still
even
counts.
He said he didn't even mean to shoot it.
He didn't mean to shoot it.
Anyway,
Get over
Lance is he's a goat. We get on him and have a hard time with him, but I love him.
He takes it with him.
Yeah. But no, he played great. Lawson played great, and to come back and get that win, getting a big stop there at the end, I felt we needed that. Just with the week that we had and how we executed to a T. I mentioned those 3, but then you mentioned Jaden Bailey, 5'7". I'm giving him some.
Yeah.
Against the 6'8".
No problem.
No problem. He's a dog. He had a little dog in him. He also hit a 3 and 2 floaters, 7 points. We needed every bit of them. Thomas Darnell did a great job guarding. Done a great job helping defend his rebound. He's an athlete. When he gets his rebound too, South Greene, when you get the rebound, it ain't over because they have 3 guys flogging you. He come out of there with it. I heard him talking crap to him there on the free throw line. Somebody couldn't shoot. Man,
Knock them both down.
10 for 10 on the year from free throw line. I wanted to yell out there and tell that old boy that was telling him that he can. And then he made a big.
Pull up jump. Hey, who's this kid?
He ripped right out of something. We were just broken play. He rips right one dribble, kind of fade 15-footer. So I didn't know you had that in your bag. You've been working on that one, Coach. But he's just an enjoyable kid too. Yes, we played great. Isaac Gaby gave us a good minute. So just overall, it was a team win.
That's one of those, and I'm not gonna start naming them, but that's one you'll remember because you kind of feel like that you got one that nobody thought you would. And you got it. Some people say you stole it. Some people say maybe the best team didn't win, but
you earned it.
Whatever they want to say, you'll remember that.
Oh yeah.
If you lost that game, you could have blamed it on Coach because he made you wait to practice on Friday.
I couldn't have blamed it on Coach.
You had a very special moment on Friday. Let's talk about it before we go into break also, because I don't think we had mentioned that she had the signing coming up yet. I know that
she said you made her cry.
I didn't make her cry. Blake asked the question.
Somebody made her cry. They come in here in my office.
I like to ask the hard-hitting emotional questions.
The hard-hitting questions.
What was it?
I don't know. At the end of every, they may not know what happened.
Well, at the end of every interview that we do after a college signing, you ask, of course, how's it feel to sign? You're going to be a college athlete now. You're a student athlete, so what are you studying? How are you going to prepare? And at the end, I like to ask, you spent 4 years here. What have the 4 years meant to you? And that gets them all emotional sometimes. So some of them take it harder. Some of them.
I'm gonna have to read that article then.
Tate wrote it.
Good old Tate. Well, Hannah signed with Emory and Henry, so we're really proud of her for all the hard work she's put in. And you talk about a deserving kid. She is. You talk about most valuable player, or most outstanding player, or best player of all time, those are phrases that get used a lot. I've got maybe a different way of looking at Hannah because sometimes she don't score a ton, or maybe there's games that I don't really know how it's not flashy the way she plays sometimes. But I've called her one of the most important players that I've ever coached. As far as what she does for us, she got the nickname. I asked her, she had to pick. It was either the custodian or the, what was the other one? I can't remember, but they went with custodian because, it just cleans up. The eraser.
Yeah.
The eraser was the other one where we've made a mistake, so you just get the eraser out and fix it. But and that might mean stealing a pass where somebody cut back door, or it might mean building a wall when the ball's gotten around us on the perimeter. Not only can she help, but she'll also find a way to go in there and rebound on the weak side too. And she gets double teamed a lot. Just her ability to pass out of it. She can step out and make the three. She scores for us inside. When people are pressuring us, sometimes she brings the ball up the floor. So I don't know how else to explain the concept. She's one of the more important players
MIP
to our team. Yeah, she's the MIP.
Coaches had 2 in a row like that. That's 8 years of that, and
they overlapped one year, and Doofus me couldn't figure out how to get them out there at the same time.
7 years of it, never mind, not 8.
Yeah, Brooklyn was like that.
As somebody that's had that and then it went away, I think he already knows how important it is. It's important.
Yeah. All right, so congratulations to Hannah.
I think that wraps up North Greene basketball's recap.
Oh, this is more like we're in mid-season form now.
Hey, we got to go into break now.
Rounding into it.
We got to talk about the preview of the games coming up before we talk about our college football playoff brackets. So we'll go ahead and take a break first. Stay tuned. We'll be right back in just a minute to preview those games here on Grassroots Media.
My name is Robert Starnes. I'm a lifelong resident of North Greene County, where I currently reside here with my wife and 3 children. I was a barber in Greenville for the last 6 years, but I have recently changed locations to my new shop in Baileyton. It's at 285 Mortis Hollow Lane, Afton. I'm also a proud supporter of North Greene Athletics. Come see me for all of your men and boys grooming needs. Go Huskies!
Pizza, pancakes, or donuts. The Davy Crockett Travel Center in Baileyton has the cure for all your cravings. While you're there, shop our general store for souvenirs, gifts, and cellular accessories. In a hurry, grab a cold drink and a hot dog to go. Check us out on Facebook and come to Baileyton.
Baileyton Drug Company services the surrounding communities of Baileyton with excellent patient care using a full-line pharmacy, over-the-counter selections, and a convenient drive-thru. When you visit us, you are treated as a neighbor, not a number. It's not just our slogan, but our culture. We're investing in our patients, local schools, and community. For over 5 years now, we have established ourselves as an independently family-run pharmacy that isn't driven by corporate goals. We are driven by what is best for your overall health and wellness. We're conveniently located so you don't have to make the drive. Prescription drugs are just the tip of the iceberg. We also offer natural remedies, essential oils, at-home medical needs such as walkers, rollators, bath accessories, as well as wound care products. And coming soon, basic urgent care services. What makes us better than other drugstores out there? When you frequent Baileyton Drug, you will receive professional, courteous, and friendly service that goes above and beyond any other pharmacy in the area. Remember, you're a neighbor, not a number.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Baileyton Drug Company, TMB, BNT, whatever you want to refer to that show. Presented by Starnes Barber, where we cover everything on the court with the Lady Huskies and Huskies basketball programs. As always, I'm joined here with Lady Huskies head coach James Buchanan and Huskies head coach Sam Tarlton. Fellas, my hair's getting a little long.
You know what you need?
Robert Starnes.
I need a haircut.
Robert Starnes.
And you know what we need to do? We all need to travel down there.
He's been to Disney.
Did he?
This week.
Wow. So he had a heck of a week.
Disney.
World.
We need to go down there and we all need to do a show at Starnes Barbershop.
That's a good idea.
Have you seen? I've seen some kind of thing on my Twitter that they're hiding the megalodon under Disney. I got in some kind of rabbit
What's the
hole.
megalodon? Is that shark?
A big shark.
They're hiding it under Disney.
I was reading.
You know what?
About 30 minutes worth.
Disney. I got a little disappointed there for a while in Disney. I think they decided to wake up. This ain't a politics show. You know what else we need? He always talks about the T&B show.
Just stay under 15 minutes.
Yeah, well, this will be fast.
My camera battery's about to run out, so we still got 2 topics to talk about.
This coach's show and that coach's show. I think we need a Tyler Nichols show.
There you go. We're flip it. Flip it on you.
Yeah.
Who's hosting it?
James.
You. I mean, it's all you. Just you by yourself.
Okay.
So Skip
Just
Bayless.
solo.
That's what Skip Bayless has to do now. Nobody wants to do it with him.
All right, we got 13
Prefer more of a
minutes.
Stephen A. show. More of a Stephen A. guy.
It's preview time.
You got 2 road games this week.
Hancock, we're road warriors.
Road warriors
It
this
started at South Greene. Now we got to go to
You're
Hancock. We got to go to Cosby. Then next Tuesday, West Greene. 4 in a row before the break. We won't be back in the den till January.
Who scheduled that?
Some idiot athletic director. But at the start of the new year, we get a ton of home games. And then it finishes weird, where we've got like 4 out of 5 on the road there late.
Yeah,
So,
I think I remember last year you had a big
yeah,
schedule at the end of the
I'm
year.
stupid. But anyway, Hancock tomorrow, we've been able to get a little bit of film on them. Yeah, dueling banjos. It's not
Do
a
the
bad
girls
trip.
run out too,
No,
or is
they
it just
don't.
the boys?
No, they don't. It's just the boys.
Oh, okay.
But
Loud in there too. Even with like not many people.
yeah, it's one of those places.
You make it the same way. It's crazy.
Yeah. But we're looking forward to the trip. We need to heal our wounds. We've been licking them, so it's time to get back out there. There's nothing like, fixing a loss than doing that by getting a win. So we're hungry we need a win. We need to go win a
Thinking
game.
about that, Coach. United boys they're good, and the United girls got that.
Yeah.
They're gonna be good.
You're
It's
gonna be
It's
rocking
gonna
in
be
there.
packed house in what they call
They
it?
ain't had nobody there in 2-3 years.
Stony Creek. Oh, it's gonna be packed
Stony Creek,
house.
yeah.
and it's gonna be loud, and you're gonna be trying to coach, and some boy with a cowboy hat's gonna like walk into you.
Yeah.
I hate
On his
that.
way to the bathroom.
Unica?
I hate
Yeah.
that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's the worst place. You got kids.
Tell us how
running
you really
under.
feel.
I can't stand coaching there because I always feel like
I
I'm gonna
100%
accidentally
understand.
push
Yeah.
somebody or something.
You'd be
I'd
like,
say people say that about us because it's a tight fit.
Yeah.
but Unica's different.
At least
Isn't
we
the,
got chairs though, coach. You
it's
sit
the
on
bench?
the bleachers.
Yeah, the bench is the bleachers.
I don't sit anyway, so
I don't sit either, but
just go out on the court and coach.
I usually do. Then I get.
Then
I
they
got
start
technical there
fussing.
last year.
Start
You're like
yelling.
Kirby Smart, just walk out there on the field.
Yeah, just put a helmet
I
on,
cut
Kirby.
coach off. So sorry.
Oh, that's all right. And we got Cosby on Thursday, and the Hancock's got some returning players. We're a little bit familiar with them. We've seen some of that, and I think we're going to be fairly well prepared for that. Cosby's got almost a brand new roster. They got the girl that stopped playing about midway through last year.
Shelton.
Yeah, she's a phenomenal player. She came back, and she's been joined by some newer players. And I think I noticed in the article when they played West Greene, they had 44 points, and 38 of them were scored by those two girls. So, some teams we play will have one top-notch or above-average player, and then you run into a few teams throughout the year that's got 3, 4, maybe 5. You'll have 5 in the Ladies Classic on some of those teams, but Cosby, we'll have our hands full with those two and some good complementary pieces to go along with them. So, road games, I'm curious to see how we respond to our first loss of the season. On to Sam.
Road games.
Region games, right?
Mhm.
The 2 tough ones. Hancock's good. I was watching them today. They're a good team. Really
Big
remind
Chucky Doe Crew this year, yeah.
remind me of kind of like a Cherokee physical. They're physical, and then Cosby's going to be as good as anybody in our league. They're good. So it'll be two more tough tests for us this week.
We got less than 10 minutes. Is it time?
It's time.
That's Tom.
It's time for the bracket reveal.
Can we do this in 10 minutes?
Oh yeah.
Well, if we take about 3 minutes apiece here.
All right.
This is nuts. This is crazy. I'm going to tell these guys are hearing it for the first time. Let's just do it all together at the same time.
All right, we'll do it game by game. 'cause
Who
that's
you
what we
got,
used to always
Clemson
do.
or Texas? Sam?
I went, as bad as I hate to, over here. Texas. They're going to continue their regular season of playing nobody by playing nobody in the first round of the playoffs.
Okay. The best, you got Texas.
Yes.
Hook 'em horns. The
Right
best
there.
comment I heard about this playoff was made by the Texas coach. You've got a 12-team playoff. They've been doing these basketball tournaments forever. Basketball, after the conference championships are over, congratulations, you're the champion of the SEC, ACC, Big Ten, whatever. But then they seed you. And just because you won a conference championship doesn't mean you get a 1 seed. But yet we start a football playoff and they made that a rule. I bet that rule gets changed because I think this bracket is lopsided. It is out of whack, bad. Teams that lost conference championship games like Texas and Penn State, according to experts, have an easier path to the championship game than conference champions like Georgia and Oregon. There's something wrong with that. That's got to be fixed. And Sarkisian was the one that said it. He said you seed it when it's all over with.
He's the beneficiary.
Yeah.
Him and Penn State.
Yeah, he benefited from it, but he still
I
got
can
the logic.
respect that then. I
Yeah.
respect him.
Yeah.
They're good too.
Which, on that note, I'll say I'm picking Clemson. Next game. Dead serious. I wrote right there. If you don't believe me.
Hey, he's following the the game day where he builds you up just to tear you
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. This is our pick.
These first 2 games.
If we had the
we're each gonna be
logos, I
opposite.
saved the.
He's McAfee 2.0.
All right, next game. Tennessee, Ohio State. Sam?
I've been doing a little research. I'm looking. Ohio State has two holes that they've been struggling with the second half of the year. Number one, their offensive line is depleted. They got 2 starters that are going to be hurt. Just so happens that probably the best part of Tennessee's team is their defensive line. And then Ohio State really struggles stopping the run. We got the second best running back in the country. So, Tennessee.
I think I seen where Ohio State is like 2-13 all time against SEC teams, and maybe just bowl games or something like that. So
Yeah.
it's a pretty bad record. But they always say at some point, the streak's got to be broken. You're going to the
with
horseshoe and
Buckeyes.
playing.
Yep.
I think Ohio State. I do not see Ohio State losing in the first round of a 12-team playoff.
Okay. Buckeyes it is for you then, right?
And I know you're going to pick Tennessee, so it's crazy how the first 2 games could determine how our brackets go.
Yeah.
What, mine's
Mine's
That's
crazy.
the fun thing, though. Is
Mine's crazy.
nobody's is going to be the same.
Right. You know what we should do? We ought to have a bracket like this that we go all the way to the end, and then we ought to have like a redo bracket after each week so we can make our picks.
There we go.
All right. Moving on. We got 6 minutes here. I picked Tennessee, by the way. Next game, SMU, Penn State. Sam, who you got?
Just because I don't think SMU is very good, I took Penn State.
I'm going SMU on that one because Penn State's one of those teams kind of like Ohio State. They don't do well against top 10 teams. Now, SMU I don't think is a top 10 team right now. I think they're, 11 or 12 after the rankings yesterday.
Even though they did have a good second half.
It's what made
They
me
did have a
believe
good
it.
second half, but I think it's one of those where you get up when you're playing the number 1 team in the nation. It's kind of like we talked about with Duke. When everybody plays Duke, they play their hardest game. So when they saw Oregon, they thought they had to play their hardest game. But when they play all 12 other teams that they played throughout the regular season, Penn State really hasn't impressed me this much. SMU's comeback attempt against Clemson, I feel like if we see that same scenario, then we can have maybe a potential upset in that game. But of course, like we say, when you come to postseason tournaments like this, the favorites are not going to win every game. So you've got to have a few upset picks. And I think that's mine.
That being said, I'm going with Penn State. All right. Indiana, Notre Dame. Sam, what you got?
I took Notre Dame. I think this will be a close game.
It's a interstate.
I took
Yeah.
them because it's at Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame's defense a little better.
I'm going with Notre Dame too. Also, interesting point I saw. This game will be the first game that ESPN broadcasts at Notre Dame since 1991.
Wow.
When they signed that deal with NBC.
NBC.
Now, of course, you've had Notre Dame games that have been broadcasted by ESPN, like the playoff games, or if they've traveled to other places, which...
Bowl games.
Yeah.
Just not home games.
But ESPN has not been on site to broadcast a Notre Dame game in South Bend since 1991.
I got
Interesting
Notre Dame.
enough, I think it was Indiana that last game.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what goes
I
around?
think we've all got Notre Dame, though.
All right, that's the only one we all agree on, right? Notre Dame. All right, now should our picks go as we have said they would go, the second round matchup for Sam, he says it's Texas, Arizona State. You said Texas, Arizona State. I'm saying Clemson, Arizona State. I'm going to go ahead and predict just to speed the process up. We're down to 3.5 minutes. I'm betting you said Texas. I've got Clemson. So that one of my final 4 teams is Clemson.
You can't count out Dabo.
He was
No.
coach was just making his path easier for Tennessee to keep picking.
All right. Now, me and Sam have
Smart.
Tennessee, Oregon. You have Ohio State, Oregon. That would be a big rematch game. Sam, what you got? You had Tennessee, Oregon. Who's in the Final Four?
Everybody's gonna say Oregon's automatically the best team in the country. I'm not sure that they are. I don't know. They played 2 hard games all year, and they've both been very close for most of the game. I think Tennessee's battle tested. I think they can do it. I'm picking Tennessee.
So you have Ohio State, Oregon. And you think
Rematch.
who is going to win that?
Oregon.
Oregon. Well, I've got Tennessee. So if the
Both
game,
got Tennessee over Oregon?
yeah. What'd you want me to pick? A duck? Hey, Davy Crockett carries a gun. We hunt ducks around East Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, you had SMU Boise State. That game is going to tick off everybody in the state of Alabama. If that happens. So SMU Boise State, what you got?
Ponies to the semifinal.
SMU all the way to the Final Four. Sam, you would have had Penn State, Boise State.
I had Boise State, and then I marked it out and put Penn State, and I couldn't even tell you why. I don't know. I guess this is
Gut feeling.
gut feeling, yeah.
Well, I went with a gut feeling there. I've got Boise State.
In the semifinals.
In the semifinals.
I think you boys are right. I want to change mine, but I can't. I'm gonna stick.
The last now we all had this one, Notre Dame, Georgia.
Can it be any easier for Georgia?
Well, according to me, no. Notre Dame. What you got?
I got Georgia.
Georgia.
I just think they're going to. Control the game.
I
take
watched
Georgia without Beck.
I watched
I would
Notre
too.
Dame play USC, and people say, well, USC's no good this year. I just watched the game, and it looked like an SEC team. It looked like a team that was good in the trenches, good quarterback play. They'd get big chunks of yardage every time they'd hand it off. Some people would say USC's had a terrible year. Don't go by that. That's the only game I really watched them, except I saw the tail end of the game they got upset at Northern Illinois. But I thought they looked good. And Georgia may be a little wounded. That's why I picked it. So my Final Four is Clemson. No.
It's time for the afternoon.
Pause it. Save the battery. All right. So, Sam, your Final Four is Texas, Tennessee,
Penn State, Georgia.
So who you got playing in the championship?
I took Tennessee just because I like Tennessee.
There you go. And their opponent?
Bulldogs.
You got Tennessee, Georgia in the rematch. And who's your national champion?
I took Georgia. I think they've had the toughest schedule. I think they've been the best team all year. I think at their peak, they're the best team. So that's who I'm.
So, Tyler, your Final Four is Texas, Oregon, SMU, Georgia. Who you got in the finals?
Oregon and Georgia.
Oregon, Georgia. I figured you'd have Texas and Georgia.
Well, listen, sometimes you can't go with your heart and you got to go with what your eyes see.
No, you don't. I've done this for years. You just
Listen, how many times that you've picked Duke to win the March Madness bracket?
every year.
Exactly.
Oh,
How
you
many-
got 5.
Well,
I've
you
been
got
right.
5.
Have you been right 5 times?
I ain't been alive to see all 5, so no.
No, man. Have you been like by picking Connecticut or picking Kentucky or picking Kansas? Have you been right 5 times in your life?
I've been right 2.
See,
I've been right 2.
ride
But-
with Duke. Ride or die.
I've got about half the years of filling them out that you did.
That's
so
a good point.
I'm
You're
halfway
probably
there.
You're
I'm
probably gonna get
halfway
to
there.
5. By the time you're 46, you'll probably have 5.
But I've got Oregon and Georgia. I just watching Texas. They struggle in big games. I think that's evident just seeing both Georgia games this year. Oregon's a type of team that I think they come out and try to punch you in the mouth, and Texas doesn't respond well to that. They've played from behind in 2 games this year. That's both Georgia games, and they've struggled to move the ball offensively. I think if Oregon comes out, takes a big lead, Texas ain't going to be able to come back.
quarterback
Yeah,
change.
that's what I was going to
Good.
say. When Ewers is sitting over there and Manning's running and throwing, it changes everything.
It could.
All right, my Final Four is Clemson, Tennessee, Boise State, Notre Dame.
Just how everybody's seen it.
Just like it lined up. I've got Tennessee playing Notre Dame for the national championship with the Big Orange coming out.
Hold on.
First time since '98.
You've got the 12 seed playing the 9 seed and the 6.
Have you ever looked at a basketball bracket?
That's crazy.
December
No,
madness.
I know.
Yeah.
That's crazy though. Who you got?
I'm
winning?
crazy. What do you mean? Who do I got
You
winning?
got Tennessee.
Who else? Tennessee versus everybody.
Try.
Balls by 50.
Hey,
I'm gonna take
we
some-
ain't in this for a cup of coffee.
I'm gonna
We're
take
going
something
all
like you said last year. You took the Chiefs last year, and you won our Super Bowl challenge.
Yep.
I think this Georgia team feels like the Chiefs last year.
Oh, I
they're
think they're the best
reeling.
team.
Everybody thinks the Chiefs are finally done. They're
These
losing
guys are
games.
sleeping on Nico.
They're losing to the Broncos by 15. They're losing
Hey,
to the
I mean,
Raiders
they
on
showed-
Christmas
I was
Day.
watching, they showed all the ways that they won this year.
Mhm.
They may be spending all their lives in the regular
They are.
season.
I think
They,
they
I
have
seen
to
last
lose.
night they won on it hit.
I watched that.
Doink, yep.
They banked one.
There was like 7 different ways they won crazy this year already.
Blocked a field goal, doinked one in, picked up a
Some guy
fumble
messed
against the
up a snap.
Raiders. Yeah, that was the Raiders game last week.
Some guy's toe was on the line. I mean, it's
I'm
Overtime win
disappointed that I'm the
against,
only person in here that's picked it. Did you pick Tennessee to win the whole thing?
well, I got them in the championship. Now I picked Georgia.
Listen, I was there
If it
Saturday.
gets that far, come on.
If Georgia's playing
Reverse psychology.
in Atlanta
I'll be cheering
for the
Tennessee.
championship, it's going to be hard.
So
for
you're
them
going
not
to be
win.
cheering that you're wrong.
Yeah.
I always want to be cheering that I'm right.
Here's a point that I brought up to somebody yesterday. I'm going to see if you guys can remember. When is the last time that Georgia has lost an SEC championship or playoff game to a team that wasn't Alabama?
They gave that graphic earlier in the year.
Yeah,
the only team they've lost to, period, was Alabama.
Yep. And who else?
Like the last 2 years.
Who else they lose to this year? Ole Miss. So yeah, they 3.
But I mean, in a playoff postseason scenario in the SEC championship or the playoffs,
Their quarterback,
how many
his arm
times?
fell off. He don't even have an arm.
Well, their backup looks to be a lot better than Beck.
Sleeping on Nico.
He's having a coming out party here.
We got to win the Ohio State game
Oh,
first.
we're gonna win
That
that. We're
Bulldog
running down
defense
their
is
throat.
something else.
We're just gonna run it down their throat.
When they play in
They'll lose by
Mercedes-Benz,
40.
Kirk
Drivers and car
he
riders can be
said
dismissed.
that Ohio State have a better chance if they're playing on
Speaking
the
of
road.
Kirk.
Because his son's going to Michigan.
Yeah, he went
He's
to
an
Ohio
Ohio
State.
State guy.
His son's going to
What
Michigan.
kind of Thanksgiving dinners
He
that
said
gonna be?
that it's going to be tough because they all want Ryan Day out of there, and then every time they don't get it on third down, their crowd's going to be booing.
Mhm.
So I feel real good about it.
I don't ever feel good about any of them. I just can't pick against them. I'm a ride or die kind of guy. Hey,
All
keep
right.
these, Tyler.
I will.
So
You wanna keep
nobody
them
can. You want to? That'd probably be the best thing. I'll
Yeah,
just
we
keep
can
them right
bring
here
them
at the
back, bring them up each week after.
Sam just walks off. He don't
Sam's
even
got
say-
practice though, don't he?
No, I got practice.
Oh, you got practice?
Yeah, I'm
first?
early today.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Baileyton Drive. Is E-Dog here? E-Dog.
E-Dog, come and make an
He's
appearance.
not made an appearance yet. We feel bad. We're 3
I'm gonna
episodes
get
in
you a
without
bracket
E-Dog.
to fill out for his college football playoff.
Actually,
E-Dog.
give it to us. We'll go through it real quick. E-Dog, you looked at it yet?
A little bit.
All right, you've gone through it with us before.
Well, you're gonna get the fast money.
This is
fast.
mine. Don't copy it. It ain't gonna win.
No.
No, let me
Go
just
through it.
ask him. Here, I'm gonna.
All right.
Watch this. Watch this. Clemson, Texas.
Texas,
Tennessee, Ohio State.
Tennessee,
SMU, Penn State.
SMU,
Hey, good pick.
Indiana, Notre Dame.
Indiana.
Oh,
All right, so you've got Texas and Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Who wins that? No. Texas and Arizona State.
Texas,
You've got Tennessee, Oregon.
Oregon,
You've got SMU, Boise State.
Boise State,
You've got Indiana, Georgia.
Georgia,
All right, so now we're on to the final 4 here. You've got who you got? Texas and Oregon.
Oregon,
You got Oregon. You've got Boise State and Georgia. Is that who you had?
mm-hmm.
Who you got?
Boise State,
In the national title games, you got Boise State playing
Oregon.
Oregon. Who you got winning it all?
Oregon,
Oh.
All right, we'll write
Hard to
that
beat
down.
a team twice, but I think they can do it. If they
E-Dog, if you win the grand prize. What's the grand prize going to be, Tyler?
We'll come back. We'll announce that next week because I do not know at the moment.
All right. Bye.
That's it this week. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Baileyton Drug Company, TMB, BNT, whatever you want to refer to it as show, presented by Starnes Barbershop. Look forward to seeing you next time here on
Colt's
Grassroots
here.
Media.
We'll get Colt to make some picks by next week.